welcome to You Can't Handle the Truth. It's our first review, so it will probably be amazing. We decided to go with a film called Love Hurts for no other reason than it was the first thing that popped up when I looked at films. It's about a realtor that was pulled back into his former life. He was an assassin. Yeah. So
that pretty much covers it, to be honest.
yeah. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try and pronounce it.
Keyway 1. That may not be accurate, but that's the guy's name.
Ariana DeBose and Mustafa Shakir, who I think was the best character. The Raven. Right, so just jump straight into it. We have that scale that you wanted to go with, like whether it's like unwatchable.
Are we doing that at the beginning or do we do that at the end?
Do we do it at the end? Do it start at the end.
I can do it at the start if you want, but it might ruin my review of the movie.
Okay, no, alright. Okay.
We're very qualified for this, by the way, as well. Very qualified.
We just watch a lot of films.
Yeah, well.
So, okay, first impressions of the film.
You're asking me.
I'm asking you, yeah, I just thought...
I was hoping you would go first.
Okay.
Just because what I've got to say might seem... you go first. And I'll go second.
I had never heard of the film when I kind of stumbled across it. And so I was intrigued. I thought, I really like a good action film. I know it came out around Valentine's Day, so I knew it would have that kind of
Was
theme.
that a sales pitch for the movie? Because it didn't even occur to me till the end that it was come up, because I'd never heard of it either. Like it was all about, there was no love story in it though. They just kind of called it Love Hurts and then put a heart at the end, and then it was like, yeah, Valentine's.
There's like 3 underlying love stories in the film.
This is what happens when I watch any love or romance kind of film. It just zones out. Right, cool.
So there's obviously the main protagonist,
yeah,
and the Rose character, Marvin and Rose. There's that little love story. He didn't originally kill her because he was in love with her, so he set her free. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I might have to watch the movies near it when we record next time. Yeah.
There's his the lady that works for him, the manager, and
that random
the
guy
Raven.
set the same as him.
Yeah, well,
he says
he's
there's
got knives.
Yeah, he's got knives and them arrow things with the feathers.
Yeah. There's that love story where she reads his poetry and falls in love with him.
Okay.
You've got the 2...
Is this just a way you said I'm wrong, basically?
Yeah, and you've got the 2...
It's very detailed.
You've got the 2 hitmen, or like, whatever you want to call them, that are talking throughout the film, and one's split up with his Mrs. Cindy, and he beats that guy up in the bar to steal the teddy to give to her, and then before he goes and shoots up the whole building, says that he loves her. There's 3...
I remember that bit specifically.
Terrible underlying love stories.
Okay, right. So there is love stories in it, right?
Mm-hmm. And it's done on Valentine's Day.
Yes. So what? Okay, that's cool. So it isn't a Valentine's Day movie. What did you actually think about it?
So at the start, I thought it was bright. It was kind of poppy. I liked how the imagery was going. I thought that Marvin was a likable character. The realtor. His voice was the most annoying thing I've ever heard in my life.
Right, this is why I wanted to go first, because one of the first things I was going to say is that I nearly had to turn the film off because of his voice, and I didn't know if anyone else. I didn't want it
to sound horrible,
to sound wrong, but it was so annoying. If I wasn't actually reviewing the movie, I would have just turned it off already.
Yeah, it was really high pitched.
It was just weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's fine. Right.
And I've seen him in other films, and he does have a higher pitched voice, but it's not that high, and I think it was to do with the character he was portraying, but that didn't work. The choreography in some of the fight scenes I thought was really good, although when he was fighting in the office, the first fight, he slipped on his laptop, and then the next fight at his house, he slipped on a frame, and I was like, well, this is very similar. They had the main bad guy from Never Back Down in the film. And I thought, oh, that's good. I know this character. I know he's been in some really good fight choreography before, because I thought some of the fight choreography in Never Back Down was good, but he didn't fight at all, and his character was pointless. Now I'm going to get to the plot holes. I'm gonna,
Oh.
so,
wait, what was the plot? The plot was basically he's a real estate agent, and he used to be a guy for his brother, like
a hitman,
fixer,
assassin, a fixer, yeah, that kind of thing.
And what was the plot? His brother just wanted him.
No.
They found him.
So his brother let him go. Yeah, okay.
Right.
His brother let him go if he killed Rose because Rose had stolen all the money from them.
Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And then you find out later on that Rose had been screwed over, but she was also stealing the money anyway. But she got screwed over by the people that stole the money, and they framed her. But she wanted her life back. So most of the film is her trying to get him to go back to his old self, which he has repeatedly told her that he was ashamed of and didn't like. But then obviously he does. And
but what I mean is like, because it was just very straightforward, wasn't it?
well, this is the thing. She did all this stuff, and then we have to stop him to get our lives back because we'll never really get our true lives back. We're always hiding. Hiding isn't living. Blah 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 blah. Then right at the end, when he's beaten everybody up, he's been tortured and beaten and kicked and stabbed, and he sat there and she looks at the money and she goes, "Oh, this is my cut because I sent the big twist. Is I sent this over to the Russians who had a bigger faction for whatever they were laundering the money from." And she told them everything and they know. And then they blow through the wall immediately at that moment and take him away.
Yeah.
So the whole film was pointless because she could have just sent that stuff to the Russian faction and just waited for them to take him out. But instead, she sent letters to everybody telling them what she was going to do and that she was back. And put themselves in loads of needless danger.
So did you like the movie?
The film was crap.
Right, I'm really glad you said that because I'm just sitting here and you might be thinking, well, James, you don't remember this bit or that bit, or what the hell, how can you review the movie when I just didn't enjoy it so much, I found it hard to watch any of it.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay. I thought some of the
parts... And I thought, I didn't want to start off the first review just being like, yeah, this was a bunch of rubbish. And like, well, why are we reviewing the film? Well, it was just such a bad movie. And every single thing about it would have been better if the Property... Do you know the Property Brothers?
Yes.
Yeah, if he was the main character, the movie just would have been better. Because it would have been the real slapstick it should have been. It was just like... I don't know what the hell what was it?
I don't know. I felt like the choreography tried to be like a Jackie Chan movie.
But it didn't matter because all that stuff... Any Jackie Chan movie or any other martial arts movie which has already been done, it's already all that stuff's already just done better anyway. All they had was a different kind of camera on it, in my opinion. And the film, there was no point in the film.
Yeah. And they missed. I think they missed the comedy mark. Countless times. All the bits that were funny were just.
The thing that gets me is, you're watching a movie, and sure, a martial arts movie. Like a slapstick martial arts kind of the movie it is the movie it's going to be, but there was not one point in it where I had even a fake laugh.
Yeah.
I was just annoyed through most of the movie, and I was just thinking I'd just rather watch any Jackie Chan movie, any Bruce Lee movie, any
Tony Jaa,
any movie other than this movie. And the main point of a movie, like you're watching it, and there's a bit, I want to watch that next bit. Not once did I think, I want to watch the next bit of this movie. Not at one point did I think, I want to know what happens next.
So I have to admit something. I started to watch the movie. I watched about 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I had things to do. So and then
I had life to live.
Yeah. And then constantly I was like, I need to watch this before we review it. I need to finish the film. Yeah. But I also wasn't that interested in finishing the film.
No, I didn't want to come out being too hard on this movie and just think, well, is it light-hearted? But it's not. It's just a boring movie with, I wasn't invested in any one of the characters.
Thing is, Key has...
Do you think women would like this movie as a Valentine's movie?
No.
No, I don't. And I don't think men would like it as an action movie. I don't think it hits the mark either way. Do you know what I mean?
That is the issue. Is it missed the mark.
And do we point out that that YouTube guy said that he thought the guy looked like Jackie Chan as well? Because I just want to point out, he didn't at the beginning of the movie. Thought, why did I think this guy looks like Jackie Chan? But then in certain parts, like this would just be better if it was Jackie Chan. I don't know if we're allowed to say that or not, but that's just facts. You know what I mean? Jackie Chan is a better guy.
Better martial artist, better actor,
and he's funnier, even though he's not funny. He's like a slapstick humour, but it fits in with the movie. This movie didn't work.
Slapstick humour movie. You were talking about Jackie Chan. You go to Rush Hour.
Yeah.
But that's a funny action comedy.
But even if you don't like Rush Hour, if you hate Rush Hour, there's loads of bits in it that are memorable. Like when they're doing war down the street. Yeah. When there's so many bits. Like you're like, oh, I can remember that bit.
Dancing.
Or that joke. Yeah, the dancing, the jokes that come out. And there's always like a certain bit of like, oh, who was it? And who was it element. And this movie had none of that.
No.
And it didn't need a lot of it to work. It just needed something to get you through the movie. No.
Do you know, if it had a better plot, just a good storyline to base it off, it might have had something to tie you in and hold you to it. But it had a twist that it didn't need because it just made the whole plot pointless. The plot was ridiculous anyway.
But I was when I first started seeing, like when they chuck him in the fridge and the fridge is fine.
They pick him up and throw the fridge. I was like, that's all right.
I thought they've got some good bits here, and I'm probably going to get to the end of this movie and think, well, it was about the martial arts and the stunts. There wasn't really any stunts in it that I'm aware of, but like that's what the movie was about. It was just an exhibition of his skills. It wasn't.
Yeah, and
it was just like what.
People like the Mustafa have been in shows where they've shown, like, again, really good choreography and good martial arts and stuff like that. But I just feel like they didn't utilise the cast they had. They killed some of the characters that you would have thought were quite nice, like Clive. And they killed him with the straw, which...
straw in the eye, was it?
Yeah. I was a bit like, what, you didn't need to kill him. It added nothing to...
What was that drink he would drink with all the balls in it?
Boba tea.
What is that? Is that tea? Because it looked like syrup.
It's yeah, right.
Well,
so
it's a sugary drink, I mean.
Well, I bring out the personal trainer in me. It's just trash with little bubbles of more trash, and you drink it, and then you have the bubbles in your mouth, and you burst the bubbles, and you get some flavour. And you have a little bit of bubble stuff that gets stuck in your tooth.
That sounds good.
It's just...
I do want to try one, also I don't. So.
Don't waste your time. They're really expensive and they're not good for you.
Because that guy was like chain drinking them. He just like got really one, and the next one was like, yeah, have another drink.
Yeah, well, I thought maybe they were going to they're trying to promote a company.
Yeah. It was like going to poison him. I was like, no, he just drank lots of tea.
Yeah. This is the problem. I wanted this first review to be really good and have loads of things to talk about. There were some interesting parts. So when he first gets knocked out and he wakes up and he's on the desk and he's got his hands there and the knife is through his hand, and he wakes up and he looks at it and he doesn't scream and he doesn't like react like a normal person would. And at that point I thought, like this could be good. Like
and he never really did seem like they made out he was this other guy coming out. But when he was the other guy, he was just like the same guy, but just like he just went more. I was like, well, he didn't really. He didn't change his dress. He didn't change his persona. He was just like.
No, he took his glasses off and he crushed them in his hand.
I don't even remember.
Yeah, and they did that whole. Oh, I like your glasses, the Clark Kent thing. Like, don't compare.
If anybody is watching this, did anybody like this movie, and are we completely wrong? What are we missing?
Yeah, if there's something that we've missed, tell us.
It's good to get. I'm all for the movies where you watch them and you don't even need to be tuned in, like an 80s action movie or something like along those lines, where you can just watch it but this, it wasn't a good film. What rating will we give it? We haven't even made the rating system yet, so it might vary a little bit.
I would give it a miss.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's unwatchable.
No,
but I definitely wouldn't watch it. So I don't know what else to say. I'd say it's give it a miss. Yeah. Definitely. Do something else. Let us watch it, and now you don't have to, even though this review is longer than the movie.
This review's only about 10 minutes long.
Oh,
I've edited all the crap out, which is all of it. But this is the thing. If you found this interview boring, the film was worse.
Are you talking about us?
Yeah.
We're not boring. This was
But if you found this boring, the film is worse. And I'll put some little clips. If you watch the trailer, that is, which happens a lot. It's all the best bits.
I'm actually, me and my brother have this right. I'm really against watching trailers, and he was always like, "Well, if I watch a trailer, I'll know if I like the movie and just sum it up in 2 seconds." I'm like, "Yeah, but I like this. But this is why I didn't like the movie, because I like watching it, and then being surprised to have something happen that's not like the past 10 movies I've seen in a row. That like takes me off guard. That's why I don't watch trailers." Like, because all they do is put the best clips of it in on a lot of them, especially when they're really bad movies.
Yeah.
And then sometimes they don't even put the bits from the trailer in the movie. And you're like, well, what the hell was the point of that? And with this, just watch the damn trailer, and you've seen.
That's the whole movie. Yeah. That's it, then, isn't it? Brilliant.
And if you don't believe that, then you can't handle the truth. You see how I worked that in? I was going to do full Jack Nicholson then, but I thought I don't want because there's like people asleep in other part of the house, but.
You can't handle
the truth.